today's medical tourism session of ITBBerlin, of the ITB convention.
Welcome also from my side.
We want to talk about challenges and solutions in the medical health tourism sector in post-pandemic times. But let me first, introduce my partner here in the studio, Mr. Thomas Bömkes. We've been working together a long time. He's our advisor for medical tourism.
And I'm here with my colleague Rika, Jean-Francois. She is from ITBBerlin and the CSR Commissioner of ITB.
Yeah. So the medical and health tourism industry becomes more and more important, especially in these pandemic times. And we want to introduce you to some corona recovery concepts in medical spas, post-corona treatments, and in climate health resorts.
We also will talk about the challenges of the medical suppliers and buyers in these dramatic times. And we also have a very great news that the European Historic Towns Association has also become recognized as the UNESCO World Heritage now. So we'll listen to this as well. And we have some great colleagues with us today here. We have Professor Alessandra Priante. She is the Regional Director for Europe at the UNWTO. We have Dr. Liudmila Andreeva. She is the head of international relations from the EHTTA conference. We have Csilla Mezősi. She is the Secretary General from the European Spa Association with us today. And we have Simone Zagrodnik. She is the Executive Director of the European Historic Thermal Towns Association today.
Wow, that's an all-female panel.
Not really.
No, but that's an all-female panel at the moment. And this really fits well because yesterday was International Women's Day. So that's great. So let's start without losing any time, because unfortunately we only have 30 minutes, but next year when we have a physical ITB, we will have more time once again.
Absolutely.
But let's start now. Professor Priante, it's very good to have you with us from the UNWTO. So please tell us, in times of disruption, and now after Corona, there are very sad new disruptions, with the war in Ukraine. So what is the message of the UNWTO if it comes to medical tourism?
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, I was noticing as well that there's a lot of ladies around me, and it's great. Because it makes me think that when it comes to well-being, when it comes to, looking for the best for our lives, you have to ask a woman. As much as when it comes to crisis and when it comes to recovery, you have to ask a woman. Now, yes, I did prepare a very, very short presentation, which I'm going to share with you later on. And you can put in as the numbers as the getaway of this conference. But just to give you an idea, we've now been suffering 2 years from the pandemic. The suffering was so severe that we went 2 digits down in everything, basically on 80% on revenues, on anything that was possibly doable. So everything got affected. But rural tourism in domestic areas, tourism in destinations that were lesser known, actually became a very good alternative because there was a big halt in long haul travels and in other forms of traditional, let's say, type of tourism. Then, by necessity, but also by choice, we learned to discover our own land. And our own land, especially in certain parts of Europe, but not only, of course, in the world, has a gift with natural waters and with a tradition in wellness and in health tourism, which made the difference. One would think that, obviously, health tourism in a situation where there's a global pandemic, it's kind of handy. I was personally witnessing the importance of health tourism when I was a diplomat in the UAE, because I was seeing regularly people from the Arab world fleeing on the other side of the world just for medical reasons. And medical reasons in their case was medical tourism, because they would go for a month in the place in Switzerland, in Hungary, in Czech Republic, in Germany, and stay with families of 40 people. So that definitely was, tourism and was very relevant. But now what we're looking at is well-being, spa, health tourism as an incredible alternative to restore, and hear me well, the confidence in tourism. So not only we believe at UNWTO the MICE tourism is the key, but we also believe that specifically wellness, health tourism, and in general well-being, it constitutes an incredible alternative to discover new destinations. So basically to decongestion the main points of attraction and to de-season, to really perform what we've been talking about way before pandemic, which is how do we make sure that tourists reach a destination throughout the whole year. So our forecasts for this are very positive. Because of what is happening, a lot of destinations are rediscovering and restructuring, for example, their water sources. One example above all, the investment that Georgia and that part of the world is doing. And this is leading into the developing of products, which, by the way, are very profitable, because this is definitely, there was a time where well-being and, going to the thermal sort of tourism was very much middle class oriented, because it was also covered by the health service, National Health Service. What is happening now is this has become an integral part of any hospitality outlet. So the plus spa, the plus, well-being adds the quality markup that people are actually able to pay for. Just like I did 5 minutes before reaching here and going to do a beautiful 45 minutes back and shoulder massage, which I really needed.
Let's do that too.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Priante, for your quick keynote speech to us today. So our next speaker will be Liudmila Andreeva. She is the head of international relations at the EHTTA conference. So welcome, Liudmila.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Rika and Thomas, for this opportunity to be here today. It's my honor and privilege. Can you please share my presentation? Thank you. Yes. Next slide, please. First, I want to say a few words about EHTTA in general and our plans for this year. EHTTA or EHTTA conference is a European country that has grown in a very strong and very well-known brand worldwide in the professional field in health, tourism, and wellness sector since 2018. Next slide, please. It started as an event organizer in health tourism sector and now became much more than that. Just look at this slide. It became the strongest networking platform for the professionals in the field, where we are able to share our expertise, ideas, and add value to any of upcoming projects. Next slide, please. Just a few words. As well as we have a really great B2B magazine where professionals meet and some valuable market information. And it's working great for advertisement fruit for many years. Next slide, please. And thanks to our colleague and main person in EHTTA, Ms. Leila Krejcik-Jurek, for these last 3 years, no matter of COVID, we grew through our representatives worldwide. And here you can see our main representatives in the parts of all the parts of the world. And we build a membership where we can work on any particular case or projects. You can just go through the slides where our representatives are. Thank you. And next slide, please. And next slide, please. And we are strong for our colleagues, experts, and friends, and we are really grateful for this friendship and collaboration, and we keep going and planning some nice projects together this year. And we all hope to meet with all of you on on-site events, because finally the pandemic stopped and we have great plans for this year. Next slide, please. So let me share with you some of my thoughts about challenges and solutions in medical and health tourism in post-pandemic era. The pandemic brutally exposed that health and wellness inequity is a bigger public health issue than we knew. While most governments have woefully underinvested in public health, there is a new urgency to change that. We must address the many disparities in access to all kinds of health and wellness, whether access to nature or to vaccines. Public health spending and initiatives will rise with a focus on preventive wellness. The pandemic has brought many health and wellness silver linings. Just a few: medical innovation and regulatory approvals are moving faster than ever. Even big pharma is acting like a startup now. Plant-based diets have risen, telemedicine and digital health and wellness platforms much greater access to services, and are moving more medicine and care into the home. The wellness economy is forecast to grow from $4.4 trillion in 2020 to $7 trillion in 2025. And it's an incredible 60%. All 11 markets, wellness markets, will experience strong growth. The ones that hit hardest by the pandemic, wellness, tourism, thermal and mineral springs, and spas, of course, will see the biggest growth in the next 4 years. The biggest pandemic winners, with quotes, wellness, real estate, and mental wellness, will also see powerful market expansion. That's what have been discussed with the experts and professionals on the last Global Wellness Summit 2021, and that we were all hoping for. Next slide, please. And if the healthcare system were in peril, COVID-19 tragically revealed that it had no clothes. Healthcare had to adapt and quickly, sparking a dramatic acceleration of virtual care, drive-through testing, and home-based services. In the process, old rules were rewritten and perhaps surprisingly largely in a good way for patients. To succeed in the post-pandemic world, all of us, patients, caregivers, providers, buyers, employees, investors, technologies, policymakers need to understand the new healthcare landscape and change our strategies and behaviors accordingly to it. In some of the very interesting publications, experts are focusing on few main points that could be taken as a comprehensive plan to transform healthcare along 3 main dimensions. Distributed healthcare will happen now where health happens. It will shift from where doctors are to where patients are, at home, in the community, and increasingly on their phones. Digitally enabled healthcare and the relationships that are central to care will strengthened by the data and technology. It will shift from being siloed to connected, from being episodic to continuous, from one size fits all to personalized, more personalized and decentralized. Healthcare decisions and resources will be in the hand of those closest to care. The power of determining who gets care and how they get it will shift away from government and insurance companies to communities, to employees, to doctors, and finally to the patients. Next slide, please. Just one short slide. I know I'm running out of time, sorry. Travel is coming back very strongly, very strong, and wellness travel will do even better post-COVID. We really believe in that. And big industry experts argue that the demand and investment is really there. And all of the countries should focus on easing visa procedures and other protocols to make travel a less cumbersome affair. Apart from emphasizing cutting-edge medical procedures, state-of-the-art facilities, and robust infrastructure, suppliers will need to focus on convenient end-to-end arrangements compliant with culture-specific practices and the high safety protocols, of course, standards. Customer-specific medical tourism packages with focus on long COVID, mental health, neuro rehabilitation, cardio rehabilitation, and pulmonary rehabilitation, because that's all the main consequences of COVID, as well as healing holidays, wellness vacations, etc., will be the prime criteria to attract medical tourists. All of these shows all of us in the healthcare ecosystem what could be changed. And the time to act is now. We cannot afford not to. That's my truly belief. And the last slide, please. It's my contacts. And if you have any questions, we're always open and we're always ready to discuss any ideas in the health and wellness tourism sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was excellent. And we really appreciate our collaboration with HTI always.
Thank you very much. We too do. We do too. Thank you.
Now we have to continue because tight program, and it's my pleasure to have with us Csilla Mezősi, Secretary General of the European Spas Association, ESPA. So Csilla, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and I will ask thank you. So the European spas, medical spas, represent 20 countries in Europe from Iceland to Georgia, from the Baltic countries to France to Spain. Everybody, all countries, they have natural remedies. So we heal with the power of nature. And next slide, please. I want to come today to some results, because in this 1.5 years, we did a lot. And I would say we are the big help and supporter of the public health system. And also in many countries, their only private payer can get to some services, which is a quite big gap between the public health care and in the medical spas and the health resorts of Europe. So as you see, through 1.5 years, 2 years experience, we can say that staying and changing the environment to a green, sustainable destination. It's improved the lung functionality, immunity, blood circulation. We can prove a lower level of fatigue and many moderate and even severe side effects of corona problems. But the main goal is improving quality of life. And that's the main goal in each country. And now I would like to show you some examples. Please, next slide. Like Slovakia, which was the first country in the European Union who get a full accepted and paid corona recovery concept, paid by the health insurance companies, a small country, and they could involve more than 20 health resorts to help the public health system. And the dominant symptoms like respiratory problems, cardiovascular problems, mental health, neurologic or musculoskeletal problems, all treatment or all kind of resources of biology of spa medicine are involved. Next slide, please. Or as you see, Slovenia. Here it's clearly to say how the nature can heal and the power of nature. So the main subject is thermal water, mineral water. We use it for bathing, for many exercises, and also for inhalation, mineral pelloids and mud, reducing joint pain, thalassotherapy, and the very special beneficial climate resorts. Next slide, please. For example, in Slovenia, which is again a small country, but they developed in the 70s medical spas 12 different programs to help for post-COVID patients. And the tradition in the Central European countries became a very good message for the tourists to use it not only for relaxation or for pampering and for recovering. It's also a very serious medical issue to visit these resorts. Next one, please. Now we go to Italy, which was very badly hit, and they were really severe post-corona patients to visit these places, like in Puglia, Terme di Margherita. Even on the regional base, they could get permission from the healthcare industry to pay for these 2-3 weeks packages with, as you see, the coastline and also the mineral water for the inhalation. And it's a very good news, the significant improvement with 90% of the physical and respiratory tract. Next slide, please. I would like to show also other countries, maybe not that much known for you as a medical spa destination, but even Bulgaria with a good combination of climate health resorts in the mountain and seaside resort and historical spas. Actually, by ESPA Innovation Award was the winner, one of the destinations in the Rose Valley with the most innovative post-corona treatments this year. Next slide, please. Romania, which has many different kind of natural remedies, and they were quite long time in a lockdown, and they made it in a really high speed time to develop these post-corona packages, and also for boosting immune system, also for relaxation and to get the mental balance, prevention of depression. So I would say a very good mix of treatment. Next one, please. And I was very happy when we had a week ago a summary of the medical result, and I just picked up, because I like very much this occupational retraining of employees. So our labor market needs healthy people to get back as fast as possible to not only to the social life, but also for the labor market. And as you see, with 2-week treatments, more than 50% could go back to normal life and to work. Next slide, please. And here I would like to ask to click on the slide, because the Innovation Award winner of the medical research for post-corona treatment was for Ensana Health Hotels in the Czech Republic. Mariánské Lázně was the first one, and as you see, they use also carbon dioxide gas, mineral water, and mud, and they are also in a climate health resort. Please, the next one. Here I want to explain and go through, please, to the slide. Which examination we do also to be proven by the healthcare industry. So lung functionality, blood oxygen measure, kinesiology analysis, and walking stress. And the beginning of the treatment of a 3-week treatment and the final examination. So next slide. We have to think holistic. Go through, please. And it's only a psychological and mental health, so healthy mind, but we have to think also on the physical condition and also to increase the vital capacity of the lung and our whole body system. Next slide, please. And that's why they were winner of the medical scientific study, because the first country to improve the physical, mental, social, and working capacity for the patient with this kind of treatment. Next slide, please. And I want to just talk shortly about business, because we have to get also clients and how we can help to promote health tourism. One very good example was in the Czech Republic with the COVID spa voucher. And as you see, almost 45 million euro with small amount, but they could generate a lot of new guests, new clients, domestic and international. Next one, please. Next slide. And I like also the system of the Lithuanian Association. It was a holiday voucher for the medical staff. So it's not only economy, but also a social impact to help and to provide for the hardly affected professional to relax and to learn also about these spa treatments and what we can offer. Thank you very much. And only the last slide with the contact. And I hope to see you and that you will enjoy soon one of the medical spas or climate health resorts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Csilla. Thank you so much. So now we come to our final presentation. So I will hand over to Simone Zagrodnik. She is the regional director of the executive director of the EHTTA. Please, Simone.
Thank you, Thomas, and welcome and good afternoon from my side. Next slide, please. Well, the European Historic Thermal Towns Association, we are an association of nearly 50 members in 18 countries, and we are also responsible of managing the European route of historic thermal towns, which is one of the cultural routes of the Council of Europe. Next slide, please. Our original plan, and Thomas announced it, was to be there with you today and share great news, because we wanted to have a joint exhibition and an appearance with special group of spa towns, appearing for the first time since July last year, when they were actually inscribed as the great spa towns of Europe on UNESCO's World Heritage site, heritage list. The 11 great spa towns in 7 countries, they represent a unique cultural achievement which reached its height in the 18th and 19th century, and as well as a particular urban style and form. Together, they form one remarkable World Heritage site. And, you know, UNESCO said that together, these sites embody the significant interchange of human values and developments in medicine, science, and balneology. So the great spa towns of Europe, they has been working towards the goal of becoming a World Heritage site for over 10 years, actually. And the research done for the nomination has given us even more insight into the heritage that all our towns share, helping to shape not only health, but also tourism, politics, science, and the arts over the years. So this is happening actually at a time when the potential of spa towns, and it has been mentioned, has reached a new level of recognition as places of well-being and health. Next slide, please. Spa towns have, can you just change one slide, next slide, sorry. Yes. Spa towns have always had great potential, and looking forward to the end of the pandemic, more people are looking for what we offer: relaxation, self-care, healing, less crowded spaces, and plenty of natural landscape and fresh air. So this is why we are extremely proud. Today is the day of announcements, to announce actually our first international promotion campaign, highlighting thermal towns in Europe as places of health and well-being, but also as places of culture and heritage. The campaign, and you see the very first sneak preview, it's not complete. It will be co-funded by the European Travel Commission, and it will target at the European and North American market. The name of the campaign: Thermal Travels, Immerse Yourself in the Spa Culture of Europe. And it will touch on the passion points defined by the European Travel Commission in its current strategy in the area of history and ancestry. It is targeted at people, to catch them, of course, at the moment in the dreaming and planning phase, and also particular older independent travelers that are keen on exploring. So the campaign will run from April to the end of June, and we are incredibly excited to be working in partnership with ETC and Visit Europe to bring our historic thermal towns to a wider audience. Talking about wider audience, and maybe you can just jump to the next slide back, sorry, another slide back, is that our approach at the moment is to promote thermal towns with two objectives. The first is to shift the perceptions away from the common image of spa towns as places for old people. And then there is a growing desire of people to lead a healthier lifestyle and the need to adapt their travel needs too. So what you see here is that there are new ways we try to find to help people to rediscover our thermal towns and share them with a wider audience. So what you see is a few pictures from Amazing Spa Towns, a travel TV program developed with UK-based Globetrotter TV. We were filming last autumn 7 of our towns, and we are very excited because the first episode was actually streamed about Montecatini Terme in Italy just last week, and bringing our spa towns to the screen was a first for our association. And actually this week we are having the second episode, and we are very excited. Talking about promotion and news, next slide, and next slide, please. Next, yes. And I think this will also be nice for Alessandra. So we are actually the only cultural route of the Council of Europe that is an affiliate member of UNWTO. And we are very proud that we have been selected to be part of UNWTO's work program for this year. And so we are delighted as well, of course, that we can tell you today that we will have International Thermal Congress held in Orense in Spain, in Galicia, on the 28th and 29th of September this year. And again, also brand new, the website, there is some basic information on it for the moment. The Congress, with its 3 pillars, is planned on tourism, heritage, and experience, and it will bring together the thermal destinations from around the globe as sustainable destinations, facing challenges, but of course opportunities as well. And opening on World Tourism Day, it will probably examine in depth the elements that make visiting thermal towns so special.
Thank you, benefits. Simone. I have to cut you because yes, this is a very...
It was just my last sentence.
Okay.
So thank you very much, and we'll see each other around.
Yeah, and I think we will all have to come to that conference. That's really exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone.
I'm so sorry, I have to interrupt you, but I have one more task, and it's a very pleasant task, because as you know, each year we give out an award, the Medical Tourism Destination Award, and I have this wonderful bear here with me, and we have to give it to somebody.
And I will go for my seat now.
Yeah, and that's why I'm welcoming here today, now in the studio with me, Mr. Andreas Schuster, who is the Cluster General Manager for Ensana Health Hotels in Slovakia. So, and I know that also Dr. Salesakova, president of the Slovakian Spare Association, wanted to be with us, but she can't. But I'm sure she will be watching us, and our best wishes go also out to her team. And you have heard already why we choose Slovakia, because Csilla has given us already such nice examples of how post-corona treatment was embedded very, very fast in Slovakia, and also other treatments which are very necessary. So this is one of the destinations which we really appreciate, and that's why we are so happy to give the Medical Tourism Destination Award 2022 to the Republic of Slovakia.
Thank
and
you.
its Spa Association.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Thank you for being with us in person.
In the name of the Spa Association of Slovakia, I would like to thank also the sister spas, everyone who is a member, and also everyone who contributed, because this is the way how it went within a very short period of time of less than a year to come to a legislation of accepting post-COVID treatments and being fully paid by all state health insurances was an achievement not only of the association, but also of the public health sector and everyone who was involved. In a very fast way, the parliament within a month adopted the new legislation, and I think that led to success. And let's hope that the pandemic and the people who are suffering from post-COVID can really, really benefit from all the detailed treatments and everything that has been generated in order to come to this step.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone involved. And as a country, we are extremely proud to take not live bear home, but nevertheless a bear from Berlin. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and thank you for being such a front runner, Slovakia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We leave you with that. Thank you from ITB.
Thank you, Berlin.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
please.